Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and hear that a new tax law the government says will start from January 1st, 2026 is not the same law that lawmakers voted for and approved. That means something very serious might have happened, either a mistake or something fishy behind the scenes. And one of the people who actually voted on that law has stood up and said, "What I voted for is not what Nigerians are being shown today." Now, listen carefully, because this story is not just about politicians and papers. It could affect your money, your business, and how the government collects tax from you from next year. So, stay with me as we break down everything simple, clear, and real. A few months ago, the government of President Bola Tinubu sent a series of tax reform bills to the National Assembly. These were big bills meant to rewrite Nigeria's tax law from top to bottom. New rates, new rules, new definitions, all of it. Both the House of Representatives and the Senate spent months debating them. Committees held public hearings, lawmakers debated clause by clause, and eventually a harmonized version of the bills was agreed upon. After that, the houses approved them and the bills were sent to the president for his signature. On June 26, 2025, President Bola Tinubu signed the tax reform bills into law. That part is not in question. The laws are law and they are set to take effect from January 1st, 2026. But here's where the drama begins. On December 17, 2025, Rep. Abdul Samad Dasuki, a member of the House of Representatives, stood up on the floor of the House under a point of privilege and said something serious. He told his colleagues and the Speaker that after the tax laws were signed and gazetted, which means officially published for the public, he took time to compare the gazetted text with what was originally passed in the House and Senate. And he discovered that they do not match. What was passed on this floor is not what Nigerians are being shown today, his exact words. He said he checked three things: the harmonized bills approved by both chambers, the votes and proceedings, these are official records showing exactly what was voted on, and the gazetted copies now available to the public. According to him, the gazetted copies contain clauses that differ from the bills lawmakers actually passed. He even said that the copies currently being circulated by government channels like the Ministry of Information do not reflect the approved versions. He described this as not just a mistake, but a breach of the Constitution and the legislative process. That's huge, and here's why. All right, Nigerians, listen. When a law is passed in Nigeria, there is a clear process it must follow. A bill is introduced in the National Assembly, lawmakers debate and amend it. Both chambers approve the final harmonized version. The president signs it into law. The law is gazetted, which means officially published for the public, so everyone knows exactly what the law says and how it applies. This process is protected by the Constitution. If the gazetted version, the one the public and agencies will use, is different from the version passed by lawmakers, then one, the law Nigerians are supposed to follow is not the law that was approved. That opens a big, dangerous door. Before we panic, let's break down possible reasons why the gazetted version might differ. 1. Clerical error. Sometimes mistakes happen when documents are prepared for publication. Maybe the wrong draft was sent to the Gazette office. This would be bad, but not too serious, and it can be corrected. 2. Miscommunication. Maybe some amendments weren't properly recorded when the final text was sent from the National Assembly to the Presidency and then to the Ministry of Information. This still points to poor coordination. 3. Intentional change. This is the worst case. If someone or some office deliberately altered the text after lawmakers passed it, that could be unconstitutional or even corrupt. It means laws could be changed without lawmakers knowing. Rep. Dasuki described it as a breach of the Constitution, and he wants the House to investigate fully. Now, let's talk about what this means for Nigerian politics and governance. 1. Rule of law. If laws passed by the National Assembly can be changed without the lawmakers' knowledge, then the legislature loses authority. That weakens the system of checks and balances that the Constitution demands. 2. Public trust. Citizens already feel frustrated with governance. The moment the public starts thinking laws can be altered secretly, trust in government institutions drops even lower. 3. Legal chaos. If the government starts enforcing the gazetted tax law, which may not be the same as the past version, people could be taxed under rules lawmakers never agreed to. This can lead to court challenges, confusion, tax disputes, and economic disruption. 4. Political tension. The tax reforms were already controversial. Many northern leaders, business groups, and citizens debated how fair the changes are. Now this issue adds a new layer, suspicion about transparency and fairness. In response, Rep. Dasuki asked the Speaker, Tajuddin Abbas, to bring all the relevant documentation to the Committee of the Whole, meaning every member of the House should see and compare the texts. Compare the harmonized version, the votes and proceedings, and the gazetted version side by side. Identify where the discrepancies are and correct them. Speaker Abbas has acknowledged the concern and promised that the matter will be investigated. So what should you, an ordinary Nigerian, take away from this? 1. You pay taxes, so you should know your rights. If the laws that's supposed to govern taxes are unclear or inconsistent, that affects you, your business, your salary, or your side hustle. 2. Transparency matters. Laws are supposed to be public, accurate, and predictable. When they are not, ordinary people get confused or exploited. 3. Accountability is critical. Lawmakers are calling for review, and that's a sign that citizens should demand transparency too. Your lawmakers work for you. Here's the bottom line. A member of the House says the tax laws Nigerians are being shown today are not the same as the ones lawmakers passed. He says this is a breach of constitutional process. The Speaker says the House will investigate. This could affect how taxes are applied from January 2026, and it raises questions about transparency and governance in Nigeria. Premium Times Nigeria. This is not small talk. This is about who controls Nigeria's laws, who pays taxes, and whether the rule of law still matters in our country. We will continue to watch this story, and when there are updates, Trend Fusion will explain them simply, clearly, and truthfully.